Hi, my name is Aaron Stone, and this is my benchmark marketing communication strategy analysis on the Arizona Coyotes. So, a quick little brand summary on the Coyotes. The Coyotes weren't actually always the Coyotes. They used to be called the Winnipeg Jets, and they actually moved out and relocated to Arizona in 1996. And at that time, they moved over to the Gila River Arena in Glendale, and they played there for some time until the 2021 season, when they moved out over into ASU's arena, where they share the facility, and they play out in Tempe. In With that being said, they're located in Tempe, Arizona, so they do compete with three other teams in selling their product. Their product being season tickets. The teams that they compete with are the Diamondbacks, the Suns, and the Cardinals. Um, all of these teams they do their own strategy in selling their season tickets, and it puts the Coyotes in a little bit of a tough spot because of their pricing and because of just the demand for the product, right? The Cardinals, the football market's always been strong in Arizona. So it hasn't really been something that they've had to build where versus the Coyotes having to build the hockey in the desert, right? But the Cardinals also too compete with the Coyotes because they set their season tickets, their cheapest one at least, lower than the Coyotes. So it's easier for just a new fan to go ahead and be like, hey, I'm going to buy season tickets, right? Because it's not $700 versus 500. It's still a lot of money, but $200 is definitely something that's going to sway a consumer's decision when buying a product. Now, the Phoenix Suns, their team, they just see a lot more success. They win a lot of games. They go to the playoffs, and they actually have a wait list to get on their season ticket list. So you have to make a deposit and wait for someone to reach out to you to get tickets for the Phoenix Suns. So it's a little bit different versus the Coyotes. You can pretty much at any time go on the website and buy tickets or buy season tickets at that. The last market that they compete with is the Diamondbacks, and within the Diamondbacks, they have a ballpark pass that they offer for $300. So $300 gets you 81 home games all year long for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, just a lot cheaper than what the Coyotes are offering. But with that being said, that's kind of just like a little summary on the Coyotes and the market that they compete in, and we're gonna go into our next topic here. Leading off of that, we're going to go into the Coyotes target market. But before we do that, we got to kind of know what their main goal is. What are they trying to pitch their target market? And that's season tickets, right? So the Coyotes' main goal is to get their fans in their target market to buy season tickets. So individuals that are most likely to buy these season tickets or buy from the Coyotes at least are going to come from this market segmentation, right? Demographically speaking, it's going to be males and females between the age of 18 to 60. It's going to be people, that middle upper class, social class, just because, these tickets are expensive, right? And you also need to have a lot of time. So people that are going to be kind of going out on maybe a couple nights a week, right, to something like this, where they're going to be spending this much money, are going to be in that social class, right? Now, following off of that psychographically, the people that are going to be buying these season tickets are going to be active individuals, those that maybe like sports or maybe like hockey. Also, Arizona sports fans, people that enjoy Arizona sports and like rooting for their home team. Those are the types of people, right, that are going to become buying season tickets. Going off of that behaviorally, people that like going to live sporting events or maybe even like concerts, right? Just live events in general. Those people are going to be buying season tickets along with like diehard Coyotes fans, people that are already behaviorally attached to Coyotes. They're going to be buying season tickets, and those just located in the area too, right? It's in Tempe, Arizona, so it's a really popular spot, and there's a lot of neighboring cities around it like Phoenix, Gilbert, Mesa, Chandler, Scottsdale, Glendale, just to name a few, right? So all people in that segmentation are going to be more inclined to buy season tickets. Following off of that, what are kind of the target market's needs and what's the personality gonna consist of for those buying season tickets? Those buying season tickets, they're going to be looking to fit the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the love and belonging category, just because it's not going to be anything like food, water. It's not an essential need, right, to go to see a Coyotes game. And it's not like a security thing. You don't need to go to a Coyotes game to feel safe by any means. It's more like a love and belonging. You want to go hang out with your friends, it's have a good time, feel accepted, and with a community of people that like the same thing you like, right? And with that being said, too, kind of something you're gonna see in people in this market buying these tickets are personality traits. So the trait theory is gonna have a big effect in in Coyotes fans, purchase on these tickets, right? The trait theory states that our personality is based on certain traits such as, outgoing, sad, stable, serious. And Coyotes fans would really be identified as those who are extroverted, active, outgoing, those, like going out to sporting events, those that like going out to movie theaters or out to events like that. Those are going to be the types of people buying season tickets. Next up is the consumer's response to the media. First up, we have this digital billboard. It's an example of traditional media with it's a one-sided message that's positively framed. Within the billboard, it uses the theory of reasoned action, and they use the elaboration likelihood model of the central route to persuasion because they get straight to the point, and they don't really mention any other brand, and they're really just trying to get consumers to get on the behind the movement of the Coyotes, right, and get them to buy season tickets. This next ad is an example of digital media. It's a one-sided message because again, they just mention themselves. They're not mentioning other brands or product. They also use the theory of reasoned action because they're trying to show consumers like, hey, you do all this for the community. You need to come out and support our team because we want to support you as well. And because of that, they use the central route to persuasion because they're just trying to convince consumers to buy season tickets at the end of the day. Next up is this isn't necessarily a season ticket ad, but it's a TV ad to subscribe to watch their games online, which is still a form of revenue that they make. It's an example of digital media because it is on their Instagram using social media, right? It's a one-sided message at that as well because they're just talking about buy this to watch their games, not like any other brand or product. Buy this to watch Coyotes games, right? And because of that, it's positively framed. And it's an attitude toward the object because they want to create an attitude toward this streaming app, right? And because of that, they use the central route to persuasion because they just want to get straight to the point and convince consumers to buy this subscription. Next up is a couple personas that I created based off of what a Arizona Coyotes consumer would look like. These personas are based off of real people, so we'll kind of go into that in the next slide. This is kind of brand influencers' effect on on the consumer decision making process, and based off of the three personas that I made. I said that Lindsay would be influenced by her friends to purchase these tickets because she's new to the area and looking to meet new people. So if someone went up to her and asked her like, "Hey, I just bought season tickets. Maybe we should go sometime," that would definitely be an influence on her to going to the games, right? Now, next I have Matt. I said that Matt would be influenced by his family to buy season tickets, and that his wife could play a factor in the decision, just because he already spends a lot of time away from home. So if his wife, if she doesn't want him to be away from home and go out and go see the games, right? That's gonna influence a factor on his decision. And then last, I had Ricky. I said that Ricky would be influenced by advocacy groups just because he plays on his school's hockey team. So because of that, if Ricky was at the rink or at practice, hearing his friends talking about, hey, yeah, we're buying season tickets to Coyotes, it's definitely going to play a factor in convincing him or influencing him at least on making the purchase. Next up is the diffusion of innovation model. The Coyotes target market would fall under the early majority category, just because their advertisements, they're really trying to get consumers to join the movement and get with the majority, right? And they do this by, in their ads, putting out messages like "Run with the Pack" or "Hockey belongs in the desert," just to get that like FOMO effect, fear of missing out effect on their consumers, right? And that kind of leads us into our next slide, their marketing and communication strategy. The Arizona Coyotes do message their consumers in an ethical manner. They don't really do any like false advertising or anything like that. And they try and, put out friendly content that, if it shows up on your TV, you're not going to have to hide it from your kid, right? Now, following that, do they implement the principles of conscious capitalism? I said yes, just because in their ads they emphasize culture by mentioning the fans and the work they do. And they also mention, kind of like how they're trying to lead the community and start a movement. So because of that, I said that they're, reaching out to the fans. They're reaching out um, to the fans, to create events that garner attention towards, season tickets at the end of the day. And then the consumer decision making process. There's four factors that are going to affect them when buying these season tickets, and it's going to be in two categories. It's going to be externally and internally. Externally, it's going to affect them, culturally and socially. So culturally, like, if they're in a hockey community, that's definitely going to play a factor in, buying season tickets. And socially, like your family and friends, those are going to play factors, right? Now, internally, like personal and psychologically speaking, people's lifestyle, income, that's going to all play effects because if you're not making a whole lot of money or you're not in that bracket, these tickets are expensive, so you're not going to be able to just go out and buy them because you're going to want to put that towards other needs, right? It's not going to be uh, it going to the game isn't going to be within the hierarchy of needs, right? Now psychologically, like based on like your perception of Arizona sports, or if you like to go to live events a lot, that's all going to play factors in whether or not the consumer's going to buy the tickets. Now, lastly, based on the analysis, some recommendations that I could make for the Coyotes. One would be to build a new arena, because if they build a new arena, they'd have a lot larger capacity size, and it allowed them to sell more tickets. And if they could sell more tickets, they'd be able to lower the cost just because there'd be a higher demand, right? Now, next. I said they could partner with influencers based on their target audience, and create more advertisements to kind of create a connection between their consumers and their brand. Because always engagement leads to more sales. So if they can engage with their customers more, they're going to be able to sell more of these season tickets. Now, my last recommendation, it's not necessarily a recommendation because the team actually decided to do it. But I said the Coyotes could relocate just because the fact that the team has they're been operating at a negative for some time now. Um, Relocating could allow the team, find new ownership that wants to put more time and effort into the team, and maybe conduct business in a better sense where they're making money and drawing fans in. So, with all that being said, that's gonna wrap up my project. We're a little over the time limit here, and honestly. I want to apologize that I even have to make this video because I did not show up to class when the rest of us did our group activity in class, and I want to apologize for that. But here's my video. I tried my best, and I really appreciate your time as my professor. And yeah, that's all I got.